Welcome to Superhero Stories. I am your host, Captain EJ. Today, we'll be exploring the world of the Avengers. All you have to do is close your eyes, get cozy, and listen to the sound of my voice. Captain EJ will be your guide. This story is brought to you by my friend, Mrs. Honeybee. Let's begin. You are away from the noise and the crowds of New York City, sitting on a red and white picnic blanket with Iron Man, Captain America, Spiderman, Thor, and Black Widow. You are all enjoying your much-needed superhero rest in Central Park underneath a big shady tree. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Feel the crisp, fresh air coming in through your nose and filling your lungs. Then breathe out through your mouth and feel your chest slowly lower back down. The Avengers are so happy you are here with them to enjoy this lovely day. Fluffy dogs bark as they fetch frisbees from the air with their mouths. One of the dog's frisbees fly right onto your picnic blanket and lands next to Thor. The dog runs up to Thor on the blanket, panting, and sits down, waiting for Thor to throw the frisbee. Thor takes a breath in through his nose and curls the frisbee back, then breathes out through his mouth and sends it spinning through the air. The dog runs and runs as fast as it can after the super fast frisbee, but it cannot catch up. Thor is so strong that the frisbee keeps spinning, flying all the way through the trees of the park and out of sight. Thor says, "Whoops," and tries to hide from the upset owner and dog. The Iron Man holds up one of his red metallic hands and, without saying a word, calls the frisbee back with a super special kind of magnet. In an instant, the frisbee is locked onto Iron Man's hand. He hands the frisbee to you to see if you can do a better job throwing it for the fluffy dog, who is now back at your side, panting and waiting with a big puppy smile. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and curl the frisbee back. Then breathe out through your mouth and send it spinning through the air. You use just enough of your strength to launch the frisbee the perfect speed. The happy dog jumps up into the air and catches it. The Avengers know that super rest is one of the most important tools that a superhero has. So they all lay back on the big red and white blanket to enjoy the fresh air and the sunshine. Feel the warm sunshine on your skin. Hear the peaceful, breezy sounds of a quiet bark, with birds chirping in their nests high up in the many trees. Take a breath in through your nose, and when you breathe out, let any thoughts, worries, or concerns float out of you with your breath. Captain America was worried about a bend in his shield that could be a potential issue in their next mission. But after his calming breath, he reminds himself that he will take care of that as soon as he can. For right now, he can just enjoy the park. Anything that cluttered your mind is now gone far, far away, like Captain America's worry. With your cleared mind, take another slow, deep breath in through your nose and make your muscles as strong as possible, from your cheeks to your toes. When you breathe out, let all of your muscles be as soft as possible, the exact opposite. That is how the Avengers make sure their bodies are just as relaxed as their minds. Sometimes it takes Iron Man a while to relax his muscles. He's so used to being ready for anything. But at the park, with you, he remembers that the next mission will come, and for right now, he just enjoys the day. Now that you, along with the Avengers, have fully relaxed, you are even stronger than you were before, and you are ready for anything that comes your way. Suddenly, the tree that you were all sitting under is uprooted and pulled into the sky, then away from Central Park. One by one, you see tree after tree being uprooted and pulled into the sky like the first. The ground rumbles with each tree, and the birds flap their wings to flee their nests as fast as they can. The Avengers can hardly believe their eyes. They've never seen anything like this before. Then Thor looks up to the sky and sees a familiar portal opening in the clouds, swirling around and around. Thor looks at you and says, "This has to be the work of Loki. But why is he stealing the trees of Central Park?" Thor raises his hammer and takes to the sky, while the rest of you stay on the ground to figure out what's going on. You and Captain America are inspecting the holes that the trees left in the ground. They are sizzling with electricity. When you look up, you see the Collector standing before you. The Avengers assemble at your back to protect you. Captain America pulls out his shield as Iron Man engages his suit and shoots up into the air to distract them momentarily. Thor is fighting Loki in the skies using thunder and lightning. Iron Man helps Thor defeat Loki and bring him back down to the ground, where everyone is shielded from the Collector behind Captain America. Just as the Collector was about to descend on you and Captain America, a spiderweb wraps around and around him, completely stopping him in his evil tracks. It's Spider-Man, who assists his super friends just in the nick of time. The Collector can't move his arms or his legs to do harm to anyone. Thor and Iron Man sit Loki next to the Collector and question him. Why are they taking the trees out of Central Park and disrupting such a pleasant day? The Collector snickers from behind the webbing and says he needed the trees for his great tree collection. The Avengers are outraged and use their collective powers to call each and every one of the trees in Central Park back to their places. The people in the park watch in delight as the trees they were relaxing under come back and provide shade. The birds flock back to their nests, and only a gentle breeze is felt where there was just terror. The Avengers have successfully defeated the Collector and Loki again. Today, we'll be exploring the world of Black Panther. Let's begin. "Great job today, everyone," Black Panther says loudly. He claps his hands together, grinning out at you and everyone else training to become soldiers of Wakanda. You've spent all afternoon running around and doing a bunch of different workouts. Now you're really exhausted. Your legs feel like jelly and your hands ache from working with a heavy spear. While Black Panther watched, Okoye and some other Wakandan soldiers who protect this pretty land trained you and a bunch of others so that you can join them one day. You might be worn out, but you're also really happy. You're getting faster at running and better with handling the spear. You're really proud of yourself, and you hope you can make Wakanda proud one day too. Now that training is over for the day, you carry some equipment back across the field. A few other trainees follow you to do the same. Black Panther, Okoye, and the rest of the soldiers had their own way. You're just going to put away this gear and head on home. Your clothes feel sticky and grimy after exercising so much. You really worked up a sweat today. You can't help but daydream about taking a nice, long shower. But a huge commotion from across the courtyard suddenly has you doubting that you'll be able to relax just yet. Something has gone terribly wrong. When you turn around, you're faced with an alarming sight. A bunch of angry-looking people are running across the field right toward you. "It's the Mountain Tribe," cries one of the other trainees. "They're attacking again." Oh no. You look quickly for Okoye or Black Panther, but they're gone. You can't see them anywhere. There's no one else to defend Wakanda. A few of your training buddies drop their spears and take off running. They're too scared of the Mountain Tribe to fight. For a second, you think about following them, but someone needs to protect Wakanda. Without waiting another minute, you grab the spear you only just put away. The spear is just for practice, so it isn't sharp, but it'll just have to do. You need to take a stand. This is exactly what you've been training so hard for, isn't it? Wakanda and its people need you now more than ever. You might still just be in training, but you know you'll do your very best. Clutching your spear, you run forward toward the nearest Mountain Tribe soldier. Your opponent, much bigger and stronger than you, but you're small and fast. You dodge his attack with ease despite being tired from your training. When he stumbles after missing you, you swing your spear at him. The side of your spear swats the soldier right in the side. He falls right to the ground. But the battle isn't over yet. He quickly rolls over to grab your ankles. You almost fall down too, but you manage to dig your spear into the ground to catch yourself just in time. You leap into the air, still holding the end of your spear, and hop right over the enemy mountain tribe member. Once you're back on the ground, you swing your spear again. You conk him right on the head. He groans, holding his face and laying back down. He's out for the count. You grin proudly. You're on a roll now. You start to think you're going to handle this mountain tribe with ease, but when you look around, you realize that you're completely surrounded by the enemy. There's nowhere for you to go now. This isn't looking good for you. You hold your spear tighter. All you can do is keep fighting for Wakanda. The enemies rush at you one by one, but you never drop your spear. You trip some and smack others. All the while, you think back to your training. Sweat starts to form on the back of your neck. You're getting more and more tired by the minute, but you refuse to give up. You do your absolute best, but the enemy soldiers just keep coming. There's no end to them. They seem just as determined not to surrender. Just when you think you might fall over from tiredness, someone busts through the crowd to stand beside you. You tiredly look up and find yourself filled with new hope. Black Panther has arrived. "I can't believe how well you've done against the mountain tribe," Black Panther says. "You held them off until I got here. Without you defending Wakanda, these enemies would have made it into the heart of the city." You're exhausted, but not too tired to smile right back at Black Panther. You're so relieved he made it. Together, you fend off the rest of the mountain tribe. You and Black Panther stand back to back, each fighting off the enemy soldiers. The Black Panther is such a great fighter. He's so strong and agile. The mountain tribe soldiers are nothing compared to him. Soon, the mountain tribe has no choice but to realize they've lost this battle. They quickly retreat back to their homes. You and Black Panther are both breathless when the fight is done. He looks at you and smiles from ear to ear. He claps you on the shoulder proudly. "You're really becoming an awesome soldier for Wakanda," he says. "I've never seen anyone else fight with that much heart. I'm proud to fight right alongside you. The mountain tribe definitely won't bother us for a while after a beatdown like that." You smile joyfully back at Black Panther. His words mean so much to you. He sees how hard you've been training and how much you love Wakanda. Black Panther chuckles faintly. "You should get a reward. How about a hot shower and some delicious Wakandan food? I bet you need it after a workout like that." As if on cue, your stomach gives a big, hungry growl. You and Black Panther both laugh out loud. You can finally take a load off now that you've defended Wakanda from danger, but you're already looking forward to your next big battle. Today, we'll be exploring the world of the Avengers. Let's begin. The volleyball soars through the air. It's headed right toward you. You run across the sand and leap into the air. The beach is hot under your toes and your feet sink into the sand slightly. You jump as high as you can into the air and smack the volleyball with your palm. The ball soars back over the net and over the heads of the other team. Oops, you might have hit the volleyball just a little too hard. The team shakes their heads as you grin apologetically. Everyone laughs and you take off to chase the ball. Since you're the one who knocked it so far away, you'll have to be the one who tracks it down too. The volleyball rolled behind some tall dunes, so you have to climb over the tops of the sandy hills to look around. You listen to the peaceful sound of the waves crashing on the beach as you hunt for your volleyball. But instead of spotting the ball, you notice a group of people huddled nearby instead. You look closer. Wait a minute, are those superheroes? You see Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Thor, and the Hulk. In fact, it's all of the Avengers. What could they be doing? Are they here to play some volleyball too? They could probably at least help you find your missing volleyball. Still looking around, you head curiously over toward the superheroes. You've only taken a couple of steps when a loud boom echoes across the beach. The sound is so noisy that it makes your ears ache. It's so strong that it makes the ground beneath your feet quake. You clap your hands over your ears and try to stay upright. What could that have been? You've never heard anything like that before. The Avengers begin to shout, and then you see what caused the noise. Thanos has just appeared near the superheroes. The super scary, super strong villain must have come to cause trouble yet again. Oh no. You could just turn around and escape back to the beach where your friends are waiting, but you decide to help the Avengers instead. Thanos is very dangerous after all. You want to make sure that the superheroes have all the help they need. You might be a little afraid of Thanos, but you can't turn your back on your friends. You have to act bravely instead. Gulping, you sprint toward the Avengers. Your toes slip across the warm sand. The people on the beach have no idea what's going on. They can't see anything behind the tall sandy hills. Hopefully, no one will mind that it's going to take you a while to find that missing volleyball. "Look who's come to help us," announces Thor when he notices you dashing closer. Black Widow and Captain America both grin at you. Iron Man laughs and gives you a thumbs up. "You always pop up just when we need you," he says. Thanos roars from across the beach, glaring at you and the Avengers. You all turn to face him. Your knees are feeling kind of trembly, but you keep your chin up and your shoulders back. You won't let the bad guys see that you're scared. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. "I'll defeat you this time," Thanos says loudly. "Earth will be mine." "Not a chance," Hawkeye shouts right back. "Now that our friend is here to help, you're going down." Roaring again, Thanos runs towards you and the Avengers. They charge forward to meet him and clash wildly. Captain America attacks with his powerful shield. Hulk batters Thanos with his strong fists. Hawkeye aims his fierce arrows right at Thanos. Thor's hammer barrages Thanos with hits. They're all moving so fast that it's hard to keep track of them all. The group is working perfectly together, but Thanos isn't going down. Thanos just keeps fighting. He doesn't seem to be tiring at all. He seems just as strong as ever. If the fight keeps going like this, he might defeat your friends. The Avengers are starting to look more and more tired and roughed up. You have to do something to help. You do your best to come up with a plan. What ways can you help the superheroes? You might not be super strong or have a super weapon, but you can certainly still do your part to take on Thanos. Then, you spot the volleyball that you'd been playing with earlier and you begin to think, that just might do it. You rush over and scoop up the volleyball. The ball is sandy and slightly deflated after rolling so far away, but it'll work just fine for what you have in mind. You're going to blind Thanos by getting sand in his eyes and use the volleyball to do it. You squint through the sun, locking your eyes on Thanos, and then launch the ball through the air. It flies higher and higher, zooming right at Thanos, but it simply hits his forehead and bounces right off. Thanos looks at you with a smug smirk just before the sand from the volleyball falls on his face. He shrieks as the sand gets into his eyes. He is squinting and blinking. Your plan is beginning to work. While Thanos is leering at you, the Avengers launch one big simultaneous attack. They use this moment of blindness to work together and tackle Thanos to the ground. Thanos can't see or defend this attack from all sides. Once the supervillain is captured, the Avengers return to your side. Captain America is carrying your volleyball. Captain America tosses the ball to you and winks. "Awesome job there. You showed some real quick thinking. If you hadn't distracted Thanos with that quick thinking move, he might have beaten us." "Hulk wants to play volleyball," announces the green-skinned superhero. You and the Avengers all laugh before you gesture over at the beach. The superheroes follow you back to the volleyball court where your friends are still waiting. Your friends' jaws drop when you show up not just with the missing volleyball, with some all-new super players. You've defeated Thanos, and now you're going to rule the volleyball game with the Avengers at your side. Today, we'll be exploring the world of Black Panther. Let's begin. Everyone, pay close attention, announces Okoye. She lifts her spear proudly and smiles out at the crowd around her. You inch closer, eager to hear what she has to say. Today, you're in Wakanda training to join the Dora Milaje, the special forces here. Once you finish this training, you'll be able to help Black Panther defeat anybody that dares invade Wakanda. You can't wait to help protect Wakanda. It is such a beautiful place with such beautiful people. The green grass is soft under your feet. You can hear water running nearby from a giant waterfall. The sun is warm on your shoulders. It's the perfect day to train. Okoye and the rest of the warriors give everyone a spear. It's a practice spear for you to use while you're learning, so it isn't too sharp. Okoye pairs up everyone, but there's no one for you to practice with. Oh no. Don't worry, someone announces. I'll help you train. You look up to see Black Panther walking toward you. You can hardly believe your eyes. You get to train with the Black Panther himself. Your palms start to get a little clammy. You're nervous to train with Black Panther. He's such a good fighter already. I want you to try your best, says Black Panther with a smile. You gulp and nod. You don't want to disappoint him, and you're very excited to learn how to fight with the Dora Milaje. They're the best at protecting Wakanda, and you want to be as strong as they are, even if it takes you a very long time. You and Black Panther stare each other down. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Black Panther's claws look super sharp. You swing out your spear, but Black Panther leaps over it easily. You completely missed him. You spin around to face Black Panther again and he laughs while shaking his head. You're still not trying your best. Come on, you can do it. Imagine that you're trying to protect Wakanda. You'd try much harder than this, wouldn't you? You nod slowly. Black Panther is right. If you're going to join Wakanda's special forces one day, you need to work as hard as you can. Plus, this is a chance to learn from Black Panther. You can't waste a second of this training. With a new determination, you run at Black Panther with your spear over your head. You swing it around, but Black Panther leaps over the spear each time. He lightly pushes you backward and you trip over your feet. You fall down, but you jump right back up. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. That's right, cheers Black Panther proudly. Always get back up even when you fall down. You and the superhero keep sparring. You're out of breath, but you don't stop. You're so focused that you don't even realize that Okoye and the rest of the trainees have circled around you and Black Panther. Suddenly, your spear whacks against Black Panther's ankles. He trips and falls. The whole crowd gasps and then begins to cheer for you. Still on the ground, Black Panther grins up at you and claps his hands. That's what I like to see, he says joyfully. You've made me and Wakanda so proud. You're going to make a great warrior. Today, we'll be exploring the world of the Avengers. Let's begin. The light is dim in the spaceship, but you can see that you are with the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Star-Lord, Peter Quill, Rocket, the Raccoon, and Green Gamora are all sitting in captain chairs at the front of the ship. You walk toward them to get a better view out of the windshield. As you approach, they all turn around and smile with delight when they see you. They are so happy you're here. Standing behind them, you are in all of the full view out the windshield. You are on a spaceship that is gliding through an endless blanket of blackness dotted with stars. How does it feel to be in space? You continue to look out, trying to focus on each twinkling star one by one. As you do, Rocket turns around in his chair and looks at you. With his pointy raccoon snout, wearing his leather tactical vest, he explains the mission that you are on. The Guardians are on their way back down to Earth because 2 of the Infinity Stones, and their infinite powers, have been hiding around a big city full of people. The Avengers have been called to find the stones and bring them all back together. Doing this will restore the stones to their full power and protect the world from their potential use for evil. As you listen to Rocket, you hear heavy footsteps coming up behind you. You look back to see Groot. He walks up and extends a tree branch hand out to you with a chipper "I am Groot" to say hello. You reach your hand out to shake his. It feels rough and barky to the touch. You are excited to be here and help your new friends. There's a seat open next to Rocket, so you sit down. It is a big, comfy captain's chair that has protruding arms rests lined with buttons and levers to control the ship. Looking back out the windshield, you can now see Earth in the distance. It is no bigger than a star because you are so far away. As you watch Earth slowly get bigger and bigger, you notice that each star shines brightly, then appears to dim for a moment before shining bright again. Focus on this twinkling cycle that never seems to end. The stars shine, then dim, shine again, and then dim again. Let's try twinkling along with the stars. Imagine you are a star, doing this same pattern, shining bright then dimming, but with your breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose. As your chest fills with air, imagine yourself shining brighter and brighter through the darkness of space as you breathe out through your mouth, and your chest empties of the air. The shining dims for a moment. You are a twinkling star. Continue twinkling and focusing on your breath until it's time to land the ship. Earth is now in full view, and you will help the Guardians land the spaceship. The familiar patterns of bright blue and green are coming more into focus as you head into the layer of clouds. Zooming straight through the puffy clouds, the spaceship is suddenly flooded with the sun's magnificent light. Gamora asks you to pull one of the levers on your chair's armrest to help land the spaceship. With your right hand, you slowly push a big silver button and then steadily pull the lever back toward you. Each of the Guardians does the same in unison. The spaceship hovers over a big city filled with tall buildings and people that look like ants scurrying about. The spaceship hovers lower and lower to gently land in a grassy park that is lined with trees. You feel a subtle dropping feeling in your belly as the ship settles onto land. You did it. You helped land the ship. The Guardians get up out of their chairs and you follow them. As you make your way out, Peter high-fives you for a job well done. He is grateful for your help. You are a very important part of this mission. One by one, Rocket, Peter, Gamora, Groot, and even Drax hop out of the ship. The silence of outer space is now replaced with the bustling sounds of a fast-moving city. You follow the Guardians all the way to the edge of the park until you get a full view of the city. There are people flowing by in one fluid motion, like a river. There are buildings of all different sizes and textures. There are cars zooming through the streets. The air is filled with delicious smells of all kinds of food being cooked in the many restaurants. There is so much to see here, but you have an important job to do. Rocket steps up next to you and continues to explain your mission. The Infinity Stones are magical gems that, in the right hands, have the power to help protect the world in ways nothing else could. But in the wrong hands, those powers can be used against humankind. They need your help to find the stones and then hold them safe in your worthy hands to protect the world. You are up to the challenge because you are confident in your ability to help. Just as you were telling Rocket that you accept the mission, a tiny red and black figure lands on your shoulder. Thinking it's a bug, you twist and turn to get it off your shoulder until you hear the figure screaming something at you and waving what looks like arms high in the air. You look closer and see that it's Ant-Man. He landed on your shoulder while he was tiny. He hops off your shoulder and bursts out to normal size. Standing before you in his red and black suit with his silver helmet, he waves hello. His voice sounds muffled through his helmet. He came as fast as he could because he received information about where the first gem is hidden. He heard that it rests on the most beautiful, sweet-smelling flower in the city, and he knows just how to get there. He looks at you and asks, "Are you ready?" More ready than you've ever been, you hold out your hand to grab his. He grabs your hand tightly, and in the blink of an eye, you both are teeny tiny on the cement sidewalk of a massive city. You dive into what looks like a sea of grass that is much taller than you are to avoid being stepped on by the flow of people. Sitting below a canopy formed by the individual blades of grass that tower over you, Ant-Man looks at you and says, "Watch this." In suspense, you look around you. Just then, high above you, a bright orange swirl of color blocks out the sun above you in the grass. The sky is taken over by bright orange and black butterflies that are swarming to you and Ant-Man. He has used his special powers to communicate with insects to summon butterflies that will take you both to the most beautiful, sweet-smelling flower in the entire city. A single orange and black butterfly lands gently on the grass next to you. It has a black and white spotted body with fluttering orange wings. Ant-Man waves to you to hop onto the butterfly. You both are much smaller than even the butterfly, so he runs and jumps up onto it and reaches out his hand to help pull you up. Sitting on the spotted body of the butterfly, the orange wings begin to flap faster and faster. The butterfly is able to carry you and Ant-Man. It flutters up and up, flying through the leaves of the trees that line the park and continuing above the heads of the flowing people. It is flying so quickly that the buildings you could once see the different textures of are now blurs. The motion of the butterfly's wings reminds you of the twinkling star, a continuous cycle over and over. The butterfly wings raise up gracefully into the air, then gently drape back down, up again, and down again. The delicious-smelling air brushes against your cheeks as you enjoy the butterfly flight. The butterfly has two thin black antennae that help lead it to the best flowers. The antennae suddenly begin twitching, as if they are sensing something. Then the butterfly glides into a circling turn downward. Ant-Man exclaims, "We found it, look there!" He's pointing down at a beautiful red rose that stands alone on a dark green bush. The butterfly circles and circles down until it can gently land you and Ant-Man on the most beautiful red rose in the city. When it does, the rosy fragrance fills the air and you take a deep breath of it in through your nose. Allow your chest to fill and expand like a bloom. Then, when you cannot take in any more air, slowly breathe out through your mouth. Your powerful breath out shakes the delicate rose petals like a breeze. You follow Ant-Man and hop down off the butterfly. In the center of the rose, glistening in the sunshine, you see an even smaller than you emerald green gem. It is so small that you wonder how it holds such power. Ant-Man grabs it carefully and holds it in steady between his two gloved hands. This gem is the Time Stone, and with a single command, it can completely stop, slow down, fast forward, or rewind time. What would it be like to live in slow motion? Imagine a typical activity like walking. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Then, all of a sudden, your next step forward hovers in midair, still and hanging, until it finally reaches solid ground again. As you attempt to pick your back foot up for the next step, it is much slower than usual lifting off the ground, as if your foot is almost too heavy to lift. If you are the one holding the stone, you are able to continue on normally while the world is altered around you. This kind of power needs to be in capable, worthy hands. Ant-Man looks to you and holds the stone out. He wants you to keep it safe because he knows you will only use it for good. Honored, you hold out your two teeny hands and he places the shimmering stone in your upturned palms. Clasping your two hands closed around the powerful gem, you wish for the bustling sounds of the giant city to quiet. As quickly as you could wish it, the noisy city halts to silence. You and Ant-Man look around from the view of the flower at the other end of the park where you landed the spaceship. He places his hand on yours, which is still holding the gem. In another blink of an eye, you are back to your size, and in the middle of a paused, timeless city. The flow of people have stopped mid-step with their feet stuck in midair. The buildings of all different sizes and textures stand resolute, with a gentle breeze blowing in through their open windows. There are cars that look like toys that were left in place. Smoke that billows through the air now look like clouds. You are surrounded by stillness. Let's stay here for a moment. Allow your mind to be as quiet as the city. Our minds can sometimes feel like a bustling city, full of busyness and noise. With this stone, and always within your ability, you can find this stillness anytime by quieting your own mind. You can do this by bringing your attention to the center of your forehead. Imagine yourself brushing each thought that comes into your mind away from your forehead, like you were brushing hair out of your face. Did a thought come into your mind? If so, brush it away now, gently letting it go. Take 3 breaths in through your nose and out through your nose, and keep brushing away any thoughts that come to you. Ant-Man is so proud of you for being able to handle the power of the time stone. With your quieted mind, you begin walking along the sidewalk, weaving through the frozen river of people. There's a leaf paused in midair as it falls from a tree. You reach out your hand to touch the leaf. It feels crispy on your fingertips. You try to move it, gently at first and then with all of your strength, but it is immovable. You continue to walk down the sidewalk in awe with Ant-Man. You come to a corner and look down the street without any people. There's Groot stuck in place. You run over to greet him, but he does not move a branch. Ant-Man explains that you have to allow time to continue on as you wished it to stop. You clasp the gem in both hands and allow the world to resume. As soon as you could wish it, it is so, and Groot excitedly shakes his branches when he sees you. Ant-Man says goodbye and thanks you again before he zooms away. You and Groot continue to stroll along the empty sidewalk. You can hardly hear the city down this quiet street. Storefronts line the street with their open windows. You look in each. There's a toy store full of fun gadgets and gizmos. You stop in front of the window to get a better look. In the reflection, you see Groot freeze in place again. Looking back, you notice the rest of the world is continuing on. What's going on? You look back at Groot, who has his eyes closed and looks like a regular tree that lines the sidewalk. That's when someone passes by walking a puppy. Once there are no more people around, Groot comes back to life. He says a slow, "I am Groot," and you know that he is kind of afraid of people. You agree to let him know when anyone comes near so he can pretend to be a regular tree, then continue on down the sidewalk looking into each store window. All of a sudden, you feel the ground rumble beneath you. You look around and do not see anything. Then you feel another rumble beneath your steps. You turn around, and towering over the tallest building in the city is a bright green Hulk. Groot freezes and closes his eyes tightly as a rush of people flow by trying to get out of the way of Hulk's gargantuan steps. Hulk is far away from you, at the corner you turn down, but his huge feet almost reach you and Groot down the street. Hulk blocks out the sun for a large portion of the city, but he happily waves a giant hand hello when he sees you in his shadow. He grunts something and all you see is Hulk's hand coming down to swoop you up. He holds out his hand and you jump up. It feels like a roller coaster as he swoops you up and rests you up on his shoulder. The second Infinity Stone, called the Power Gem, is hidden way up high in a puffy cloud that hangs above the city. Hulk heard you were here and immediately made himself larger to be able to find you, so you can keep that stone safe as well. Up on Hulk's gigantic shoulder, the sun shines again. You look up and feel the warmth on your face. Each lumbering Hulk step sways you from side to side as he walks. Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. You balance yourself on his shoulder with both hands as you are carried through the city. From up here, the bustling, noisy city sounds muffled and far away. A yellow bird flies at the height of Hulk's elbow, flapping its wings up and then down, up again and back down. You look out over the horizon and see where the busy city ends and spills out into serene greenery, with the stream flowing through it. You look back up toward the shining sun and see where a group of puffy clouds are hanging around with each other. Hulk walks up to them and brushes his hands through the first one. No stone was in there. He turns to the second, and as he does, you are now fully immersed in the cloud. You can taste the misty air as Hulk looks through the second cloud, then the third. He turns to the last cloud. You're hopeful that the stone is there like he thinks it is. And sure enough, as delicately as he can, he uses his fingertips to pull out a small purple gem that glistens as he holds it up in the sunlight. It is tiny in his fingertips, but fits perfectly in your hands. You hold it tight, clasped between your two hands, and wish for all of its power. Just as quickly as you wished it, you look around and are the same exact size as Hulk. This stone has the ability to increase physical strength and size. The Avengers world is so lucky that you now have the second Infinity Stone safe in your possession. It can only be trusted to someone with a kind, gentle heart. You were so helpful to the Avengers and the Guardians that they knew they would be able to trust you. You look your Hulk-sized eyes back toward the beautiful greenery at the edge of the city. Hulk is holding his hand out for a high five, and the slow Hulk-sized high five you give echoes over the city like thunder. He follows you as you begin taking giant steps toward that serene place beyond the city. Once you get closer to the wilderness, you can tell that what you thought was a stream is actually a wide river, and there is a small-to-you boat floating along it. The people in the boat are nervous and scattering when you and Hulk approach, so to reassure them of your kindness, you gently pick up the boat as your regular-sized self would pick up a toy boat. You bring the boat full of people up to your eyesight and smile and wave at them. They can tell how kind you are and instantly relax. They all smile and wave excitedly back, knowing you are keeping them safe and protected. You slowly spin around in the sunshine, and the people on the boat enjoy gliding through the air in your Hulk-sized hand. Then you gently place the boat back on the river, so it can continue along its way. Hulk grunts, and you look back toward the city in his direction. He's pointing toward the gloomy city, which cannot feel the sunshine because the clouds have moved in front of it from Hulk looking for the power gem. You walk back over to the group of clouds and gently, one by one, pull them out of the way of the brightly shining sun. Beams of sunlight cover the city with warmth, which makes you smile. To get back to your regular size, you hold the gem between your fingertips and, with a deep Hulk breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, you wish it so. With your exhale, you deflate back down to your size, and you are on the soft green grass far from the noisy city. There is a tall tree to your side, the river rushing over rocks, birds chirping and soaring high above you in the sunny sky. Then you hear a psst coming from the tree. You look over and Spiderman is hanging upside down. He leaps down with a flip, rustling the leaves, and lands on his feet. He runs over to you quickly and tells you that the Guardians are leaving on their spaceship right now. They were so impressed with how much you helped their world that they would like you to join them and guard the entire galaxy from evil. You are honored to be a Guardian and are confident that you will do well. You look into the sky and can see the spaceship slowly lifting up off the ground and hovering into the air above the city park. Spider-Man has just the tool to get you to the spaceship in time. He grabs your hand, points his web-launching glove toward the spaceship. He tells you to hold his hand tight, and on the count of 3, you're going to jump into the air and swing by the web. 1, you plant your feet into the soft earth. 2, you bend your knees to jump. And 3, Spider-Man launches a web all the way to the bottom of the ship that's taking off in the distance. You swing and sail through the air by the web and get all the way to the ship. Once you arrive, you see your friend Peter, the Star-Lord, again. He pulls you up into the ship and you both say goodbye to Spider-Man. Once you're safely in the spaceship, you head to the back to rest up for your next mission as part of Guardians of the Galaxy. Today, we'll be exploring the world of Black Panther. Let's begin. The engines of T'Challa's jet roar as you soar over Wakanda together. You eagerly press your face to the cool glass of the window so you can get a good look at the city. You've never visited Wakanda before, but it's beautiful. You can see other jets soaring through the sky and lots of buildings and people zipping by below you. The people and cars are as small as ants, scurrying about their daily business. We're almost there, explains T'Challa. He looks at you and smiles, but he seems a little worried. I'm glad I can finally show you around Wakanda, because I've been hearing some strange things from my friends. You curiously tilt your head. What could T'Challa be worried about? It seems like a bad man named Killmonger has been trying to take over as king while I was gone, T'Challa says. He and I fought a long time ago, but I thought he was gone for good. You gulp hard and look back down at Wakanda. The city seems so happy and peaceful, but if Killmonger had really reappeared, there could be trouble. Suddenly, the jet begins to dive. T'Challa thrusts the jet controls forward and the plane zooms down toward the ground. Your stomach flips around in your tummy like you're on a roller coaster. You're flying so fast. Finally, the jet lands. You hop out of it and look around. Wakanda looks just as amazing from the ground as it did from up in the air. "You're back, T'Challa!" a woman shouts as she runs up to you and T'Challa. The woman looks curiously at you. I'm Okoye. T'Challa, I'm glad you brought a friend. We might need some serious help. I've got bad news. It's Killmonger, isn't it? asks T'Challa. He frowns very deeply as Okoye nods. Yes, says Okoye. He's come to challenge you again, T'Challa. Killmonger says that he should be the rightful king. You must defeat him in a battle. Then I'll fight him, T'Challa answers. He quickly touches a tribal necklace and the Black Panther suit suddenly forms over his whole body. We have to protect Wakanda. Together, you and Black Panther rush through Wakanda toward the waterfall where the ceremonial fights are held. Killmonger is already waiting there. You finally decided to show up, Black Panther, Killmonger says with a smug laugh. I won't let you defeat me, shouts Black Panther. The two rush at one another and begin to fight. At first, it's very hard for you to tell Black Panther and Killmonger apart because they're moving so fast and fighting so hard, but then Killmonger almost pushes Black Panther off the waterfall. I wish he didn't have to do this alone, sighs Okoye from next to you. You frown and nod. This is such a tough fight for the Black Panther. He is very strong, but Killmonger is putting up quite a battle. Why should the Black Panther have to fight Killmonger all alone? That isn't fair at all. To be a good king, T'Challa will have to listen to and rely on lots of people. Should this fight be different? Quickly, you try to come up with a plan. How can you help the Black Panther? When you notice Okoye's spear, you quickly ask to borrow it. Okoye hands over her spear and you sneakily approach the battle. Then, with precision, you throw it as hard as you can at Killmonger. The spear flies right by his face. Killmonger gasps and stumbles back a step, and it's just enough of a distraction that Black Panther can pounce on Killmonger. T'Challa successfully pins Killmonger down. Killmonger struggles and then finally gives up. The Black Panther has won. As Killmonger is captured, T'Challa walks up to you. The Black Panther grins at you and crosses his arms over his chest. You helped me out today. You're welcome here in Wakanda anytime. Wakanda forever. The people of Wakanda cheer for you and T'Challa. Because of you, Wakanda is safe and the Black Panther is the rightful king. Today, we'll be exploring the world of the Avengers. Let's begin. Strong and under threat of Thanos' evil ways, Nick Fury is here with you at the Avengers Tower, high above the tallest buildings of New York City. He has called the Avengers to assemble, and you are the first Avenger here. Look out the windows to see how high up you are. The taxis and people walking through the city below look tiny. The sun is out and shining so bright that there isn't a single cloud in the sky. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Feel the cool, crisp air coming in through your nose and filling your lungs. Then breathe out through your mouth and feel your chest slowly fall back down. Walking around the Avengers Tower, you marvel at all the technology you have access to as the newest superhero on the team. You get to decide what armor, suits, and machinery you want to use for this mission. As you're looking over all the options, walking around the tower, Tony Stark walks in through the door with Jarvis, helping him put on the Iron Man suit piece by piece. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and decide what your helmet will look like if you have one. Will it be like Iron Man's, with an AI inside to help guide you? Or will it be like Captain America's, simple with goggles? Steve Rogers walks in next holding his Captain America helmet before putting it on standing next to you. He bends down to get his super shield out of a hidden compartment in the floor and then holds it up. Next, Thor walks in with Hawkeye and Black Widow. Thor is holding his hammer and cape in his hands. Hawkeye is holding his bow and arrow, and Black Widow is fastening her spider bite bracelets to her wrists. Thor opens his cape and fastens it around his shoulders, then holds his hammer in his hand to inspect it and make sure it's strong enough for the mission. Hawkeye raises his bow and pulls back his arrow to make sure it's ready too. Black Widow pushes a button on her spider bite bracelets, and little volts of electricity zap up to show that it's ready. There are a variety of capes, shields, hammers, bows, and armor available to you if you want one, even ones that the Avengers don't yet use. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth to decide the rest of what you will wear and carry with you on this mission. Once you are fully ready in your suit, with your armor and your machinery, with the rest of the superheroes, look in the mirror. See yourself as the newest Avenger, ready for action. Nick Fury assembled you here with them because he knows you are strong and skilled enough to be a valuable member of the team. Nick Fury leads you all to the top of the tallest tower over New York City to explain the current mission. Thanos has threatened the world like never before. Nick Fury got word that he is using his evil powers to capture the sunshine and steal away all the happiness it brings to the people of the world. On top of the tower, with the sounds of the city below, you look up to the shining sun and feel its warmth on your superhero suit. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, enjoying the brightness and warmth of the sun. What would the world do without our sun? It's up to you and your avenging team to save the world from eternal darkness. Iron Man looks around and wonders where the last Avenger is. Then you look up to see the big, green Hulk falling down from the sky to land heavy on the tower's roof. Will you have an alter ego like Bruce Banner has the Hulk? With that, the Avengers are ready to go. Iron Man uses his enhanced vision to try to spot Thanos. Look around with your superhero tools to see if you can see anything for as far as you can see. Suddenly, the sunshine that was so warm and bright begins to fade until it goes completely dark like the blink of an eye. Thanos already got the sun. You watch with the Avengers as complete darkness falls over the city. Good thing you have all the tools necessary to navigate. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth to activate your night vision abilities with the rest of the Avengers. Now that you're able to see in neon green and blue, you fly alongside Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor with Hulk running below. Black Widow and Hawkeye carefully balancing on each of his shoulders to help him navigate. There was a little bright spot left where Thanos cannot quite contain the sun's brightness as he hides it in his secret lair. He's moving quickly, but not too quick for the Avengers, who are closing in at top speeds before Thanos locks away the sun forever. The tiny orb of light that used to be the radiant sunshine leads you directly to a mountain before it goes completely dark. Thanos has built an evil lair here, big enough to contain the sun and deep enough to obstruct its light. Each of the Avengers raise their high-tech machines to break into the mountainous lair. The Incredible Hulk winds back his powerful fist and punches into the mountain to break it open. A little bit of sunshine peeks out through the hole that the Hulk's fist left. Then Thor uses his hammer to shake the rest of the mountain into pieces, strike by strike. Now Thanos knows you are after him. Here he comes. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and raise up all of your superhero defenses against Thanos. Iron Man and Hawkeye fly in circles around him to go beneath the mountain and retrieve the sun, while you, Hulk, Thor, and Black Widow defeat Thanos all on your own. Once he's down, Hulk makes sure he stays there, while you and the rest of the Avengers help restore the sunshine. Iron Man, Hawkeye and Captain America have tied a rope around the sun and are holding the sun on their shoulders, trying to carry it out of the mountain lair. They throw you, Black Widow, and Thor the other side of the rope for you to pull it with all of your super strength. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and grab the rope with your super hands. Then breathe out through your mouth and pull it and the sun back towards you. Slowly but surely, the sun rises out of the lair and back into the sky. Then Hulk angrily grabs the rope out of all of your hands and swings the sun around and around above his head like a lasso before launching it back into the sky. The bright, warm sunshine continues, and the world is saved from Thanos' evil ways one more time. That concludes our story. I can't wait to see you again. Captain EJ, over and out.